ending in 4, 3, 2, and 1. And if you were on that last one, then you're paying a special attention to us when we're doing our shared reading and making sure that you're thinking about the answer to that question. Okay, so we're going to look at the actual questions before we read the passage. We've talked a lot about our 3 T's for attacking a passage, but we also know it's really important to read the questions first. Okay, so can you read that first question for me very loudly, Jordan?
Provided laptops.
Very loudly, Jordan.
Provided laptops and remote calls is important because.
Okay, Kamari is tracking. Denisha, can you please read question number 2?
In the U.S., the OLPC computers would be useful tools for everyone if.
Yeah, in the U.S., the OLPC's computers would be useful tools for everyone if. Number 3, Ariana, loudly.
One country that has not been mentioned as a site for the OLPC program is.
Okay, and then finally, Kamari, loudly.
Prime Minister
Toxin.
Shinawatra.
Good, and I like how Kamari's not afraid of the proper noun. Toxin, Shinawatra, it's in Thai, so it's not going to be pronounced phonemically. Go ahead.
And Thailand seems to have all the following personality traits except.
Okay, so we're thinking about his personality traits. All right, so for the last one, we know that we're thinking about 2 key words, really. The Prime Minister, and we're thinking about his personality. Okay, so as we read, that's what we're focused on. What are some other key words that we might be focused on as we're reading the passage, okay? Based on the questions that we just read, what are some key words we're going to be looking for and paying a special attention to as we are reading today? Micah?
OLPC.
Yeah, brilliant. OLPC. Micah saw that it appeared twice. OLPC's computers and the OLPC program. So whenever they are talking about something the OLPC is doing, we need to pay attention. All right? What is another thing? And I'm glad that Patrick and Chloe jumped on the bandwagon, and I'm going to hear what you have to say in a second after I hear from Grace. Speak up, you're brilliant.
Another key word is accept.
Yeah, so Grace saw that accept is going to be a word we need to pay attention to. Is that a word we need to pay attention to when we're actually reading the passage, though? Why not?
Because it won't actually say the class they're talking about teaching, and it won't actually say accept. So you have to.
It won't actually say it in the passage. Is that what you're saying? Okay.
So you therefore aim to actually see what do you think that their personality trait is.
Okay, so we're paying attention to what their personality trait is as we're reading, but we're only paying attention to this accept when. When are we paying attention to the accept? That's brilliant. When you're actually answering the question. Very good. Okay, and then number 1, give me some keywords, Patrick.
Lower cost.
Lower cost, very good. And what else do you think, maybe, other than just lower cost? Because it's important that we know what we're talking about comes at a lower cost.
The laptop.
The laptop's coming at a lower cost. And then, Chloe, do you have anything to add, or was the laptop's yours? Important? Why do you say important?
Because, like, it says lower cost is important because.
Lower cost is important because, okay, and why is that important that I pay attention to that phrase? Thank you for tracking, Dallas and Micah.
Because it might have your answer in the passage.
You might have your answer in the passage, okay? You said important, Chloe, so why do you think important is a word I'm looking for in the passage? Do you think it's a word that's important to the question, or a word that is important to the passage?
Important to the question.
I think important to the question. So important when we're answering the question, just like Grace said, accept is important when we're answering the question, but as I'm actually reading, I maybe am paying more attention to laptops and lower cost, okay? So you are following along on the Promethean board, or you are tracking in your packet. That is up to you. Okay, and you're actually going to be able to see the picture Okay, this is what those low-cost laptops actually look like. Now, we're going to do closed reading today, which means that as I am reading, I'm going to stop every once in a while, as you guys know. And what are you going to do when I stop? Jordan?
Say the word.
Everyone's going to say the word together, okay? So low-cost laptops. I'm going to wait actually until I see everyone tracking up here, or because someone was just turning to find it. Tracking up here or in your packets. Excellent. Low-cost laptops to help improve education for world's
Poor.
Can you imagine a day when every student has a laptop computer? Nicholas Negroponte can. He hopes to make that with the one laptop per child OLPC program. Okay, here's my one laptop per child OLPC program right there. The nonprofit organization he founded aims to provide laptops to elementary students in poor countries. That's right. We know it's not counties, we're talking about countries. If everything goes according to plan, by 2007, up to 7 million children in Thailand, Nigeria, Brazil, and Argentina will have their own
laptops.
After that, the organization hopes to bring the program to China, Egypt, and Mexico. And here, readers, I would actually stop because I've seen some keywords. Okay, what were the keywords that I saw? Jordan, you knew that automatically, all right? Denisha?
Some of them is the
Some of them,
on.
okay, or some of them were since we read it in the past. But yes, some of them are. Go ahead.
I can't pronounce it.
Yes, you can.
Thailand.
There you go. Exactly. Thailand. Say it with confidence one more time.
Thailand. No.
Nigeria. And did we read about Nigeria when we were looking at the questions?
No.
Okay, so we did read about Thailand, but what were those keywords that, Patrick mentioned and Jordan mentioned? What were those keywords that we were talking about we really need to pay attention to as we were looking at the passage? One of them was what? Other than Thailand, which is true. Yes. Okay, they actually appear in the heading and several times throughout the paragraph. Laptops, and specifically what type of laptops, Patrick? Low-cost laptops. I'm not talking about, my Samsung over here that the school gave me. They got through a pretty generous grant. We're talking about those special low-top laptops that are low-cost laptops that every student's going to be able to afford, okay? Or that people will be able to buy for those students. So low-cost laptops. So if I'm thinking, I also see OLPC, which I know, Grace, you knew because I saw your hand a second ago, but want us to move ahead. So low-cost laptops and OLPC, if I'm thinking about how I'm using those keywords to prep my brain for answering those questions, all right, I just want to pay attention to what this paragraph said about them, okay? So it says that there's a one laptop per child OLPC program that's actually trying to provide low-cost computers. So now I know what the program does, and I know that they're actually associated with providing the computers. Tracking to paragraph 2. Jordan is tracking, Grace is tracking, Chloe is tracking. This program, the program is starting
Small.
The program is starting
Small.
Beginning October. Beginning October and into
November
2006, 500 children in Thailand will receive computers. Thailand's Prime Minister, Thaksin Shinawatra, recently promised that every elementary student in his country will receive a free
computer
instead of books. Textbooks can be
expensive,
but the new laptops might cut those costs. The computers are designed to connect to the internet. Books will be found and can be read on computers, Thaksin
says.
Excellent. Okay, and then there was another really important keyword, which was what, DeMarco? I know you know, Kamari. What was the keyword in there that we really had to pay, that we know we have to pay attention to for the passage, or for the questions?
Prime Minister.
The Prime Minister, and I know his name is a little disconcerting, a little funky, but can you try it? Thaksin Shinawatra, and we know not to be concerned about how we pronounce proper nouns exactly. Nicknames, the Green Machine. Each computer will initially cost about